going to the office at 3D Realms Slipgate, even though everyone is sent home due to the coronavirus. So, but yeah, we promised the nice guys from Night Dive to actually make a little tour and maybe show off some cool stuff that we're working on. Maybe some prototypes of some old games. But yeah, it's gonna be a ton of fun. No handle touching.
Lunch for.
Hello! Hey everyone, welcome to Slipgate in 3D Realms. This is our home, and today I'm gonna show you some cool stuff. Unfortunately, I can't really show you any of our unannounced in-progress games, which we haven't already announced and shown to you guys. You're gonna have to wait a bit later this year and we'll show you some more of that stuff. However, I can show you some of the super cool prototypes and previously cancelled projects that we have been working on at some point at 3D Realms and Slipgate. Some of these we also can't show you quite, but I've picked out a few of them that we can show you, so enjoy the tour. Alright, welcome to 3D Realms and Slipgate Ironworks, located here in Aalborg. So this is our fancy entrance. It's yeah, this place is not too big, and we're actually mostly a virtual studio these days. We are 52 people working on a range of different projects, and here in Aalborg we are sitting between 7 to 10 at any given time. So yeah, let me show you around a bit. Oh, whoops, we can't really show that. The forbidden name. All right, so this is a little entrance here. A lot of really cool old school things. Here's like a little thing from Bobbin. These are actually the original drawings and illustrations for a range of different Apogee 3D Realms games. Here's some from Monster Bash. Here's one from Biomenace. Blakestone, Wacky Wheels, Mystic Towers, and so on. Yeah, as you can see today, it's completely empty. We unfortunately had to send everyone home during this coronavirus outbreak. So we're just two at the office today. We are Anders, who is having his lunch right now, and then it's me, and we're making it work. So yeah, this is the studio. We have like a little lounge area here where we can play some games. Hopefully we can play Doom Eternal very soon. And over here we have one of our lead level designer, Jacob, who this is where he usually sits. And over here we have Mr. Greg. Greg is our CTO at Slipgate and 3D Realms. He's also our lead programmer. And yeah, this is another cool little artifact from the good old days. All the different Christmas cards at 3D Realms were also framed, and we have those hanging around the studio at different places as well. I'll go around and show you guys some of the cool stuff we have in these cabinets as well, but over here we have Kirill. Kirill took his computer home, so yeah, he's working from home as well. Anas, who is actually working from here right now. And over here we have Daniel, and Daniel is also working from home these days. And then over here we have Alexandra, our marketing manager, also working from home these days. The same with Mike. Mike is also working from home, the CEO of 3D Realms. Everyone is basically working from home. And this is where I sit, my spot. So let me show you some of the cool stuff we have around here. And I know what you guys probably want to see the most is some cool game collections. So yeah, we have a range of different cabinets around the office with mostly my private collection of games. They just fit here and not in our tiny house, so it fits within the theme of the studio. So yeah, a few different things here. We have a sigil box here. We have some Doom things. This thing is really cool. This is like a stone plaque with Doom guy on it, and a few more different games here. It's Aliens of Gold, Blakestone. We have Wacky Wheels. We have Planet Strike, Alien Carnage. We also have an arcade machine, which Jacob actually built for the office. Super cool. Tons of different games to play. And over here we have some more stuff. I think most of you guys have seen this one before. It's super neat. We also have Duke Nukem here. Of course, here's the Founders Edition of Iron Fury. We have the regular edition here. And here we have Rad Rogers and all the different versions of that game. Here's some Mystic Towers, Realms of Chaos, and some Commander Keen stuff. A few different Duke Nukem things, Balls of Steel, which included Duke Nukem, and Zero Hour here. We have some other games down here. So I primarily collect, or try as much as possible to collect sealed copies of games. So most of what's shown here, at least in the fancy cabinets, are the unopened, sealed in-box type games. Over here we have more games. But first of all, our logos here on the wall. We also have some props that we've shown at different events. Here's the Iron Fury crossbow. These were made by Harrison Volpin, one of our really good friends. He's been doing props for us for many years now. Actually, the first one he did was this one. This is Bombshell's arm. You know, after Iron Fury, at some point later in the storyline, she gets this robotic arm, which she calls Amiga, and this is it. Also have a few squishy bowling bombs here, and then of course more games. So yeah, range of classics here: Wolfenstein 3D, Hexen, Heretic, Ultimate Doom. Mostly I try and collect the games that I personally have some kind of nostalgic memory of. Mostly that's Command & Conquer, Quake, Doom, Heretic, Hexen, Wolfenstein, these types of games. Yeah, a bunch of different ones here. Of course, Daikatana, you gotta love Daikatana. Of course, the Half-Life series is also a favorite here at the office. Here's some more classic games. Sin, of course, different versions of Sin. Huge fan. We worked on a Sin project, as many of you know, some time ago. Same with Heavy Metal is also, you know, everything Ritual. Those guys were very close to 3D Realms back in the day. Many of the founders of Ritual came from 3D Realms. You know, Robert Atkins and Richard Gray, Lovelord, are a few of them. Yeah. And some more neat games here. Some action figures from Heavy Metal as well. Kind of a forgotten classic, I'd say. Heavy Metal is a fantastic game. Here's some more illustrations. Here's actually one from Duke Nukem 2. From Raptor. And yeah, a few more Christmas cards over on the wall here. So yeah, this is where the magic happens. In here we have a small little meeting room. Also with here's some CD plaques from a few different soundtracks. And yeah, this is where we do most of our meetings with our virtual teams. And going over here, we have a kitchen where Alice is eating his lunch. Let's see what he's having. Looks like he's having some eggs and some rye bread. Very healthy lunch there. And of course, we moved to Rockstar instead of Monster. We can't live up to this. Just temporarily. Yeah. So yeah, that's a quick little tour of. Oh yeah, here's the server room. In the server room we have some storage as well, tons of different T-shirts. You know, whenever you guys order something online, this is some of the stuff you get. Yeah, this is pretty much it. Our humble little office. So yeah, let's check out some games and some prototypes. So here we have one of the first prototypes that we did at Slipgate Ironworks, and this is Rad Rogers 2. So Rad Rogers 2 was a prototype and a pitch we did internally for THQ Nordic, and this was still during the last few months of development on the console versions of Rad Rogers. At this point, we thought that, you know, it would be really cool to do a sequel to Rad Rogers and kind of build it around the same formula as Super Mario Galaxy, but mix in a little bit of Metroidvania and Gears of War in terms of the shooting mechanics. As you know, there's a lot of shooting besides platforming as well in Rad Rogers. So it had a few RPG elements in there. We built this prototype showcasing just the main game mechanics for THQ, and but unfortunately we decided to go with a different path, and we did another game instead. However, this prototype is always fun to look back at and see, you know, what could have been. So this is a prototype for something called Mother Flagger. So during the development of Ion Fury, we tried to play around with, you know, what would Ion Fury look like, or what would a first-person bombshell game look like if it was based around 1997, 98 era graphics. Usually when making prototypes like this, you borrow a few different assets from different places in order to try and nail the specific style you're going for. So in this example, we've been using some assets from Sim episodes, we've been using some assets from Half-Life 2, and of course, a lot of original assets that we created for this prototype. So we did this prototype, a fully playable prototype, both on the Switch and on PC. And we decided, hey, let's make a prototype that's actually a demo that you can just continuously play. So we made this little survival mode where, you know, you have to kill some enemies, and then, you know, you have a few seconds to collect new ammo, collect new weapons, and then more enemies come and they get tougher and tougher the further you get, and you have to see how long you can survive. So this little prototype was done internally for ourselves to kind of test out a few different technical solutions on how to make a game like this. When we finished this thing, we learned a ton of things about how to potentially make something like this, and then we kind of put it aside. You know, we have another focus right now. We have another few unannounced games that we're actually working on that are going to be announced later this year and released next year. So this is kind of on the back burner for a bit. Maybe someday, who knows, maybe not. But it was at least a really, really cool experiment.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fire in the hole, assholes. Oh my god, the quarterback is toast. Watch this. Oh, I don't think that's covered under warranty.
So this is Techno Cop, and Techno Cop was a game we actually teased a few years ago. I think it was at PAX South and East 2017. As some of you might remember, we had some flyers and some t-shirts there for a game called Techno Cop. At this point, we were actively developing this game. It was a smaller type game, so the base premise of the game was, we wanted to create an extremely fast-paced, high-energy, adrenaline-filled first-person shooter where the tagline was basically, you have 7 seconds to live. And when you start the game, you have a counter, and when it hits 0, it goes from 7 to 0, you die. However, every single time you kill an enemy, you get a few more seconds to live. So you just have to constantly be killing and moving forward in order to survive and going through these levels. And throughout these levels, you'd had a range of different abilities you'd unlock. You could sometime stop time entirely. You could throw these time bubble grenades. You could sometimes shoot through enemies. You could slide. You can wall jump. You can grapple hook, and so on. It's actually some of the same mechanics you see in another game we're working on right now called Ghost Runner. So this was meant to be a smaller game. Something that you could pick up and kind of play through and see if you could beat your own or your friend's top score. Some people who saw it internally compared it a bit to Superhot. So this right here is a smaller little thing, a little test we tried to do. At some point we wanted to see what it would look like if we did a Duke Nukem Time to Kill / Tomb Raider style game in the Iron Fury universe. And so the project was very shortly lived. It was called Bombshell TTK. And it was basically a small test just to see what the graphical fidelity would be like, how we could emulate certain features from the first PlayStation. And so we did a few little assets here and there, and we used some assets from Iron Fury to try and put together this little subway scene and kind of get a feeling for what a game like that would look like. Again, we put this aside afterwards. This is something that we wanted to play around with and experiment with just to see what it could look and feel like, and maybe someday we'll get back to it. But it was a fun little experiment. So we also have some other cool stuff to show you. This is not a prototype. This is actually very, very close to being finished. So this is Iron Fury on the Nintendo Switch. And of course, we have an Xbox and PlayStation version also coming simultaneous with the Switch release. We can't quite tell you when it's going to be out yet, but we are in the final stages of development. And as you can see here, it looks and plays wonderfully. It looks and plays exactly like the PC version. So if you liked Iron Fury on the PC, you're going to absolutely love it on the Switch. We'll have more news about that very soon.
Think again, asshole. One good spill deserves another. It's your blood.
So we also have a few cool prototypes from other games that we weren't necessarily involved with. As you might know, we were heavily involved with Sin a few years ago, and Sin is now in the hands of Night Dive, and we're really happy about that. But we do have some really cool stuff from Sin to show you guys. One of these things is a prototype of Sin 2. So back in the early 2000s, Ritual were working on a Sin 2, a true sequel to Sin using, id Tech from Doom 3. However, later on decided to do a Sin episode for the Steam platform as an episodic game. Unfortunately, only one episode came out. So this is a previously unseen demo video showcase of a prototype of what could have been Sin 2 running in the Doom 3 engine. Enjoy.
Now I have a new desire to make the whole world pay.
She's going to mutate everyone!
Target locked. Fire in the hole.
Penetrex is brought to you by LifeWorks, a subsidiary of Syntec Corporation.
And that was it. Thank you guys so much for joining me here at this tour at the 3D Realms offices. I'm super happy that you wanted to take a deep dive into some of the canceled prototypes of some of the games we have in development. And I can't wait to show you what we have in store for the rest of this year and next year. Thank you so much for joining and have a great day.